Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Dougie. Today we're going to do a comfort food special that was first introduced to me by our cousin Sandra in Georgia many years ago, maybe 25 or 30. But this is really a Minnesota casserole that is made with wild rice, mushrooms, and ground beef are the major components in there. So what we first have to do is cook the wild rice. And I don't know if any of you guys are big fans of wild rice, but we are. And it's harder and harder to find in our grocery stores. But I have been lucky enough to find this brand. It's an American brand, as most are, but it is really good. And so we're going to be spicing this up with all kinds of stuff. So I'm only going to cook this with water. Normally I would cook it with some chicken stock to give it a little bit more oompa, but we've got other stuff going in. So let's get started. I've got 1.5 cups of wild rice. I'm going to put this right into my rice cooker. It's the easiest assistant. Doesn't ever talk back to me. Never late to work. Everything. And then double the water. We've got 3 cups of water. We're going to put that in there. We'll give it a little bit of a mix just to make sure that everything's wet. And then we're going to close it up and push the brown rice cycle. It'll take probably 1.5 hours, and we'll come back when the rice is done and put our casserole together. Okay, we're back with the prepping portion of this hamburger rice, wild rice casserole. The rice is cooking in the rice cooker, so we're going to put everything else together. Start with a can of cream of mushroom soup. And Sandra, I have changed your recipe. I've improvised a bit. We'll see. I've read a lot of different recipes for this, and a lot of them put slivered almonds on it. I'm not doing that. But we're going to get this going with a cup of milk. Or a can of milk, we should say. Okay. Okay, let's put some seasoned salt. To taste, of course, guys. Some black pepper. Some light soy sauce. It's a new one, I didn't take this off. Okay, we're going to put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of the soy. 1, 2, and 3. Got some Worcestershire sauce. We're going to put 1, maybe 2 tablespoons of that. How about 1? Little Worcestershire goes a long ways. Okay, the soup's mixed up pretty good with the milk. Let's add some sour cream, about a cup. Okay, that's our wet. Now I'm going to get these vegetables ready. What we have here is about 5 stalks of celery, 1 nice onion. I've got about 6 cloves of garlic that I'm going to mince. And this looks like 4 cups of mushrooms, but when it's sliced out, it'll probably be like 2 cups. We'll see. I'm going to prep these things and we'll fold that in there. When the rice is complete, we'll fold that in there and add the ground beef, toss it, and put it into a baking pan, throw it in the oven just to make it gel. You know what? I think I'm going to need more. So I'm going to add another can to this because I'm making a lot. I'm going to make enough not only for our dinner, but I meal prep for others, like my parents and such. So I'm going to get another can just to be safe. It really depends on how many people you want to serve. But this is a great make-ahead meal that you can keep in your freezer. Wonderful. Okay, so it is about 4 cups of mushrooms. Okay, just a review of the ingredients that we've used today. Since I'm making more, I'm using 2 cups or 2 cans of the cream of mushroom, both filled with milk. Mix those up. I use about 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, seasoned salt and pepper to taste, and about 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce. And then I use 6 cloves of garlic that were minced up, 4 cups of mushrooms, 6 stalks of celery, and 1 onion. Now over in the iron skillet, I've got 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I'm going to brown and season with salt and pepper. And we've got 1.5 cups of the wild rice working, which will be more than 3 cups done. Okay, so we're gonna go and brown the meat, and by the time the meat's done, hopefully the rice will be done. We'll put everything together and we're gonna be done. Okay, we're browned up right now. I'm gonna get rid of the oil, the grease. We don't need that with our wild rice, for sure. Okay, we have our wet mix. We've got our browned 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Okay, we've got some wild rice, very hot. You see how much 1.5 cups makes? A lot. Okay, let's put it together. Okay, one final ingredient, the mushrooms. I know you're hungry. I'm working on it. Looks home stylish, doesn't it? I guarantee it'll taste it. This is just a really nice winter meal. Okay, let's load the pans. I'll load them up. Now, you know how I am about spraying. I gotta wash the dishes, so I make sure we get a good spray to help along. And then we're gonna do some meal prep too that I told you about. Mom, Dad, you're gonna love it. Okay. How about I get a real spoon instead of a spat? Okay, everything's together. We've got the mushrooms, the celery, the onions, the soup, the milk, the seasoning, the ground beef, and the wild rice. And it's gonna go into a 400 oven for 30 minutes. We'll take a look. The other 2 are gonna get wrapped up for another date. But here we go. Okay, it's been 30 minutes in my 400-degree oven. It's good and hot, and I had a nice crust on it, but I stirred it up, and I'm gonna give it 15 more minutes. Just to crust it up a bit, but it's really nice. It had a nice crust on it, but I wanna make sure everything's thoroughly hot. And it'll be good to cook the vegetables just a scotch more. So 15 more minutes will make a total of 45 minutes. I'll see you in 15. The timer has gone off. We're gonna pull this out, take a look, and then we'll let it rest for about 10 minutes. It's a little bubbly. Ooh, hot. So we're gonna let this rest so everything coagulates, like 10 minutes, just like a good piece of steak. You don't want it all running out. You just want it all to come together. So we're gonna let this rest and we'll come back and give it a taste test here after it cools a bit. Okay, it's that time to taste this. Our hamburger wild rice casserole. It sat a bit, which is nice. Look at this.
Okay, go ahead.
That look good? Let's give it a shot. It looks good to me. Very comforting. I tell you, that is really good. You can taste all the different flavors. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And we'll see you next week with another awesome recipe. Peace out.